Glasses for Limoncello? Yeah? Bring them. We gotta keep drinking. What time is it? It's 12:49 a.m.
Oh shit.
On Sunday, right? Sunday?
Yes.
It's exciting.
March.
We're gonna bust this little limoncello out that Gabrielle brought straight from Sicily. This is real Sicilian limoncello. We just got this last week from our good friend Gabrielle. The Sicilian stallion. He's got a lot of hair on his body. He's awesome. I love that guy. You're welcome to join us here. This is Mind Novelty podcast number 3. We've already gotten started. We've had some amazing bruschetta burgers. Shout out to Pinterest and all the great recipes you can get on Pinterest. Thanks to my wonderful partner in life bringing that to my attention. And so we made those up. We get some good grass-fed meat, of course. You can go to Trader Joe's and get that shit real cheap. Great deal in the freezer section. Take 2 pounds of that grass-fed meat. Make sure it's defrosted. Whatever the fuck you gotta do. Then you go buy some really good mozzarella. Let me tell you something about mozzarella. Is if it's not so floating in water, go fuck yourself. It's not real mozzarella cheese. It needs to be a goddamn round ball. It needs to be in water. It needs to be stretchy and delicious. And if it comes in a square rectangle package, dry as fuck, you need to go send that stuff straight back to where it came from. So you go take that real mozzarella, put it in between a couple thin patties of grass-fed meat. You want to mix like some garlic and Parmesan cheese and salt and pepper into the meat. Take 2 thin patties, put the mozzarella cheese in between those 2 patties, kind of like squeeze those edges together. Go warm up your goddamn grill. Get that hot. Throw those burgers on. Cook that to a perfect medium. Then you want to go find, you get this at Whole Foods, some Parmesan ciabatta bread rolls. Cut those shits in half. Soak them in Kerrygold grass-fed butter. The salted kind. You want to use the unsalted kind for your bulletproof coffee. And you go take a lot more garlic. Put it on, put that in the broiler, cook that shit up, take those patties off the grill, put them on that burger bun, cut up, go find some bruschetta, which is just like Italian pico de gallo, just like tomatoes and basil and olive oil, a little bit of salt, some people put some lemon in it, some people put some balsamic in it, and throw that shit on top. You have one of the best goddamn burgers I've had in a long time. I'm here with Megan Thomas at Salvaged Space on Twitter. She's a good friend, entrepreneur, amazing person. Sitting here talking. What did you think of those burgers? Did you like those burgers?
They were delicious.
They were delicious? Had you had a burger like that before?
Never.
Never? How many bottles? And I think we've done, 3? We did 2 bottles of rosé
I think we've
already.
had 2 bottles of rosé. We're about to get on the 3rd, although we're opening a bottle of limoncello from Italy as we speak.
Limoncello, yes, and this liqueur de limon. And by the way, if you grow your own lemons like I do in my backyard, when that harvest comes around, you can take those lemons. What the fuck are we talking about, Megan? Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
This is awesome. So I'm really glad you came, and one of the reasons I'm really glad you came and showed up to do podcast number 3. We're still here in the Alamo Basement Studios. Here's your limoncello if you like that. And we had another bottle of rosé that we threw into the freezer, but we kind of forgot about it because we've been drinking other stuff too. We had a couple of those Samuel Smith organic ciders from the UK, which I really like. I'm a big cider fan. And those are pretty good too. And so we've got a half frozen bottle of rosé. We're letting defrost. We're going to hit that up here in just a few minutes after we've pounded these limoncellos. Let's give it a cheers. Let's try this out. How do you feel? Let's see what you think. Yeah, cheers. Ooh. Woo! That's a powerful limoncello.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really yummy. So at Salvaged Space, what is Salvaged Space? That's your business.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, I sell vintage and reclaimed furniture.
What is reclaimed furniture?
Well, a lot of pieces that I find or come across don't necessarily have a life in their found state, but I find a new purpose for them and find a way to make them usable and beautiful, and that's what I do.
Usable, and then you sell that to
Yes.
people. Where do you sell that to people?
I sell on Etsy with mainly only more vintage collectible type stuff.
So you actually have an Etsy shop,
Yes, I have an Etsy shop.
and if someone wants to find the Etsy shop, how do they find the Etsy shop?
It's etsy.com/salvaged space, but I do a lot of local shows in Texas that are, oh, it's just a big mixture of all the stuff that I find. Etsy is kind of a specified market where I only do a lot of the smaller type stuff or the really special type furniture pieces, whereas the shows are a bigger selection of both smalls and a lot of furniture that I've either repurposed myself or just kind of.
Well, so when you're repurposing something that you found, you're finding something that's really old and typically in pretty shitty condition.
A lot of times, or it's just like a frame. For example, the piece of furniture that y'all bought for
Oh yeah,
me.
by the way, I'll have to put that out so everyone can see this. We bought
Yeah.
an amazing. What is the style of that chair? How would you call that? Is there a name for it?
It's definitely mid-century, 100%, but
Mid 20th century.
yes.
Yeah. I don't think that everyone understands what mid-century means necessarily if they're
Sure.
not,
Yeah.
really geeking out on it like we do.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay.
It's a mid 20th century.
A very Mad Men.
Oh yeah, Mad Men. Okay, we know about Mad Men. Like Mad Men.
I like to find pieces like that. That was one of my pieces that I just loved and was hoarding for myself, basically, that I was going to redo and have in my home forever, and just decided it was amazing and I didn't need it personally. I can't keep everything that I love, because what I try to do with my business is buy things that I love. A lot of people say that's a fault, but I tend to only want to buy things that I would actually be proud to have either in my own home or in my own store if I actually had a storefront. So that's the direction that I take my business. But anyways, yeah, I like to repurpose furniture either through a frame like yours that you have, or, old pieces of wood with a really cool pair of hairpin legs that I found somewhere else. I like to repurpose basically anything and everything that I possibly can.
So when you approach something like you're repurposing something, do you see that in an artistic sense? Like, is there an attraction to you, like, artistically to that? Or maybe something that's not necessarily, like, it's not just bottom. Obviously, there's bottom line. You're running a business, you're going to make money. But is there an actual desire to just be recreating and repurposing?
I definitely have to be attracted to a specific piece, whether it be the legs or the overall design of a piece. I have to love it in itself to be able to put it into whatever it is that has to do with my business. I can't just find something that I think might make me money.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm in this for. I have to love it myself and find potential in it for beauty and.
Yeah, and that's a great approach. I mean, because it always seems like to me, and we talked about this before, I mean, off the record, was we had a Mexican folk art shop.
Yeah.
And we would travel usually about 3 months out of the year. And we'd travel all over the country of Mexico dealing with specific artisans. These are just random people literally in the middle of nowhere making like this amazing artwork. And a lot of it's Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, like figurines and Catrinas. And we'd go down to Oaxaca, Michoacan, to Chiapas and Guadalajara, and you name it. We've been there. And there was something really special about not just picking things from these artisans to resell because we thought we'd make money, obviously, I mean, in the back of your head, you go, I need to make money because I got to
Right.
keep the shop open, I got to pay the bills and shit. But there was something special about being able to buy something you really actually liked, that you yourself appreciated, because then when I was in the shop and someone came in to look at something, it's almost like I kind of almost didn't want to sell it to someone.
Because you loved it so
Yeah,
much.
because I loved it
Yeah.
so much. And on top of that, if I didn't think that customer was good enough, sometimes I kind of felt like they didn't deserve it. Like, how dare they actually try to buy this from me? They don't even appreciate it the way I appreciate it.
Right.
Do you ever feel like that? That like a customer's not even deserving of that product? But I mean, you sell it to them, you make the money, but
Yeah, I mean, you have to always consider your business first, but yeah, you have to really connect with the customer to even make a sale half the time. You have to really, like, I don't know. I'm in love with basically every single thing that I have, no matter what it is, where it is that I'm selling it. I don't buy something unless I've found some sort of level of attraction to it, basically. So,
And what's interesting is that you're a youngster to a lot of people. I mean, I guess I'm a youngster too to a lot of people as well. But you're in your 20s,
yeah.
and whatever year in that 20s, I mean, I know that's a very touchy subject with a lot of females, the exact number, but let's just say late 20s. Your late 20s,
Yeah.
you're running your own goddamn business, and you've been doing it for how long now?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
What made you think that? What made you get into the concept of being an entrepreneur and running your own business? I mean, you and I talked about this, and when I was talking to you about coming on and record and talk, was that to me there's something very powerful about not just an entrepreneur, because I think the entrepreneur is a true hero in society. Like, government can go fuck themselves, but an entrepreneur, that's a person who's laying it all on the line. Like, they have a passion for something. Maybe the passion is simply just making money. Most of the time, an entrepreneur has a passion for what they're actually doing, and then by default, they're making money. But we're in a situation where the economy, let's just be honest, is pretty shit still.
Yeah.
And it's been shit for about 4 or 5 years. So in the middle of the economy being shit, I think there's a lot of people in their 20s and their 30s looking around themselves going, like, what the fuck's happening? I may not have this job much longer, or maybe I don't even like this job. Well, I guess maybe that's the question is, what were you doing before you started the business?
Well, I was working as basically a sales and design consultant for a company in San Antonio.
And how
As-
awesome was that? Was that
It was what it was, but it wasn't an everyday happiness sort of situation. And before I took that job, I was in Austin looking for a job for a while. I mean, the economy is absolute crap. And in that moment, I kind of already, before I took the job that I took, most recent to my, I guess, working in the real world kind of situation, I already noticed the opportunity for myself to maybe have a potential to do my own thing, doing something that was simple, but something that I loved and was very close to.
Well, and it's a quick question. So,
Yeah.
what made you think that you could even do that in the first place? Because I think I've always considered myself an entrepreneur from the beginning. Like, as long as I can look back into my history, when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, I had my own newspaper route. In elementary school, I was running this underground candy shop game, making money. I was running cinnamon toothpicks. I was running like Sour Patch Straws, Atomic Fireheads, and Lemon Heads, all that shit. I was making cash. Like, I always saw this concept of like being able to provide something someone else wanted, and then be able to make some money in return by it, and in the end, everyone's happy. But was there something that goes further back that makes you be entrepreneurial minded?
I think as long as I can remember, I remember being very, very young and in my hometown, Uvalde, Texas.
And where the fuck is that?
It's like an hour from the border of Mexico. It's southwest Texas. I think the population is like probably somewhere around 30,000 right now. It's growing very quickly, but
So you're basically a huge, like, George Bush and
yeah, for sure.
huge
100%
social conservative. You're right, the horse.
very
back and forth
Republican community. Yeah, I mean everyone is crazy.
Isn't that crazy how and I think that's one reason I love the idea of talking to you is that you're actually from one of these small town, Texas, kind of like born and raised.
Yeah.
And
I was born in New Mexico. Let's not forget that.
Powerful New Mexico. We love New Mexico. That's Gary Johnson. Shout out, former governor. Love that guy. I love New Mexico as well because we were talking about this earlier that New Mexico is one of the. I think there's two states, and I think the other one may be Florida, but I'm not positive. But New Mexico in particular, you're allowed and it's decriminalized to be able to grow and consume psilocybin magic mushrooms for personal use. And so that was a Supreme Court decision for New Mexico a few years back. And it's not legal to buy and sell. I mean, to buy and sell, but you can grow for yourself. And once I heard that, I felt like New Mexico's got something special going on. And then they elected this dude who is pretty cool, who we met, Gary Johnson, 8 years as governor. And he's a cool ass dude. I'm thinking, maybe there's something pretty awesome about New Mexico. I don't know anything about it though.
It's a really beautiful place. I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about the people or specific political opinions there, but it's an amazing place. So.
You came from New Mexico to Texas.
I mean, I was 18 months old, so I'm basically a Texan. I'm a Texan.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a Texan. Uvalde.
Uvalde por mi gente.
So it's like an hour from the border. What is there to say about Uvalde? I don't know.
But you grew up there.
Yeah.
What was going on to make
I
you
remember,
think
I mean, my mom is always, from the day I was probably 18 months old when I came from New Mexico, she was taking me to garage sales and I was learning so much about. I love old stuff. I mean, there's so much more personality and history to amazing old items than there is to what you can buy at IKEA or Walmart or wherever. And
hating.
I'm not hating. I just, why wouldn't you have something that speaks on its own aside from having something that everyone else has or could have?
Do you feel like that's part of your core personality? Have you always been like that?
I guess. I mean, I want to be myself. I don't want to. It's not that I'm trying to be so different from everyone, but I like to have things in my home or in my life that stand on their own rather than being something that everyone could have, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of silly, I guess, but I like being my own person and having my own personality and being able to stand out that way, I guess. But my mom definitely had a big influence on that. I don't know. I love old stuff. It has a history that, nothing else has, and it's kind of amazing.
Did your mom run a business?
My mom ran a daycare for a really long time.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, she's very happy to be away from that, although she did it for a very long time. But when I was in Austin, I worked for a company right out of college, and
what college did you go to?
I went to UTSA.
Oh, wow. That's University of Texas San Antonio.
Yes. There's great things and there's bad things, as with probably any university that you went to, but
not everyone can have me as a professor and really just be able to just
have an amazing
go to the next
100%
level.
experience.
That's for sure. I mean, absolutely. That's a limoncello talking, by the way. It's not me. That's not me. I don't have an ego.
I love college. I mean, now that I'm self-employed and not really using my degree to its 100% capacity, it is kind of, in a way, something that I question a little bit. But I 100% love that I went to college and went where I went. I met certain people that influenced me in my, decisions that I've made along my path. And I don't know, I learned a lot. I'm appreciative of having my experience that I had. It wasn't 100%, but it was what it was. And
Well, I think that's undergrad. Like,
I learned a lot.
There's
from
this thing
what
with people, and in particular, like an undergraduate level education, that what the average person tends to misunderstand about it is that a undergraduate degree is a liberal arts degree, and so by definition, liberal arts just simply means like a very broad-based education.
Yeah.
Even though you have a degree, like my undergrad, I get whatever the fuck it is, like business administration. Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's just really, in all reality, just a broad-based understanding of, well, yeah, I study business, but we study humanities, study history, study chemistry, biology, you name it. And that's the idea. Then if you progress beyond that to grad school and get a PhD, you're going to specialize something more particular. So I hear that a lot with people where they say, like, well, I have a degree in X, Y, or Z, but I'm not doing anything with that degree.
Yeah.
Well, but the reality is you're not supposed to really do something in particular with undergraduate degree because it's just simply a liberal arts education. In other words, you're just supposed to be more educated after 4 years, hopefully. Not everyone is, but hopefully after 4 years than you were before. And that should help you understand the bigger picture of reality and what you're doing in a better way. I mean, and then I think like the connections and network that you can make while you're at university. And of course, holler at your, all your parties and all the craziness that happens when you're in college as well too. But and the ridiculousness that happens. But I don't think it's any different anywhere in the world. But you're at university, so you're starting this business, and what really prompted you to actually start the business? Because the economy at that time, 2 years ago, was super shit.
Yeah.
What made you think that was something that's a good idea?
Well, I kind of started it in maybe a different way than a lot of businesses would, but in the vintage selling world, there's different opportunities than there might be in others. But I found opportunity in like local trade shows, basically, where people are selling vintage stuff, and you have the opportunity to, for an affordable fee.
Like that?
No, God,
just like
no.
You just have a big ass old
Storage Wars is awful. That show is so stupid.
Yeah, it's totally retarded.
I don't know. My mom and I, before I ever decided to actually do this as a full-time gig, my mom and I decided to kind of have fun with it and try to make a little bit of extra money and see the potential in what there might be. And we started out at Fredericksburg Trade Days, which is like, a tiny town, but it's a tourist town, which is a cool opportunity. And I just saw the potential. You can do a show one weekend out of the month and potentially make what you might make at your full-time job within the same month. So it's not to say that you would do that well every single time, but it showed that there was an opportunity there that, if I could do a certain amount of money per one weekend, maybe if I worked really hard throughout the rest of the month, I could do what I really wanted to do on a full-time basis rather than working for someone else and not being happy in my everyday.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a really interesting point. I bring that up a lot with people, and I've started plenty of businesses in the past and consulted and helped other people start businesses too. And you find this common thread of unhappiness when you're not in control of your day-to-day life. And
Yeah.
I don't just feel, I think, and it seems quite obvious that when you're, let's talk real talk, like when you're whoring yourself out to someone else's vision.
Yeah.
So if you're working a corporate gig, first of all, I will never question or hate on anybody who's doing what they got to do to make money, to pay the bills, put food on the table, take care of their family, take care of themselves. Nothing's more respectable, period.
Right.
Absolutely. But next level, so if you can do that, obviously, life's this growth progression where you're trying to move from level to level. Like once you meet one level, you don't just stop. Like there's no reason to just stop. You need to set a new goal. Let's go and make this shit even better. We have one life. There's this crazy ass dimension that we're like floating through, and we're drinking limoncello. Like, look, this bottle's almost halfway finished already.
Oh my
and,
god.
you're flying through all this shit, and what's more important than your time?
Yeah, make yourself happy. That's the entire point, is like, do what makes you happy. Don't live your life for someone else's business. Live your life for your own.
That's right. And if you're going to,
Happiness.
I always give this advice that if you're going to live your life for someone else's business, at least every second of every day you're working that job for someone else, there's two things you're going to be doing. You should be doing. Or how about, I would suggest that you maybe do, is one, think about every single thing you could take from this experience to apply to a new experience in which you are the master and commander of. So if you're working for some sort of, you're selling, limoncello from Sicily, to Texas, you're learning international trade.
Yeah.
So if you get international trade on lockdown, then all of a sudden you're becoming this kind of expert in international trade. Now you have a value that you can sell to other people, and now you could just become your own independent broker for selling liqueurs from countries around the world to the U.S.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden you're the master and commander of your business. You control your own time and you set the standards. Versus, look, I don't think any human, period, in any shape or form, I don't think evolution took place to create a human being as an individual to simply wake up when they're supposed to wake up based on someone else's dictate. So if you work for,
Anyone.
if you work for John Fuck, now Fuck LLC on Broadway, he says you got to be at work at 9 o'clock. So it doesn't matter when you go
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Usually, yeah, you're right. It is 8 o'clock. What's going on with this limoncello? What's going on? What is going on? You're working this business, though, and you're doing trade shows, but you're up in Austin a lot, right?
Yes.
Now, I hear a lot about Austin. Super, it's a really, and to be real, it's a really prominent city in the world today. Like, The Economist magazine recently profiled it as, like, this really prime hot spot in America. But I think what also comes along with Austin, and we were talking about this too, is the awesome people, otherwise known as hipsters. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of those in Austin.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities in Austin that wouldn't necessarily be in a city like San Antonio, where there's a show, once a month that I can participate in that I would never find in San Antonio, or a lot of cities that it does provide a significant amount of income for me. But yeah, there's a lot of downsides to Austin too. I mean, the growth is amazing, but a lot of people are doing the kinds of things that I might be doing, I guess. So it's hard to stand out. You can't be a very big fish there because there's so many people trying to be an individual kind of.
Do you think that's authentic? Or do you think they're trying to be? Do you get a sense that?
I think that there's probably like a 50% authenticity to most of the people that are doing what they're doing. I think it's kind of a short-lived thing for a lot of people, whereas for me, I'm in it for the long haul, and
Because I know a lot of people outside of Texas, people who
mm-hmm.
have never been to Texas, they tend to have this very idealistic understanding of Austin, like
Mm-hmm.
as a just one of the coolest ass places. Like
Yeah.
it may be in Texas, and for sure, if you've never been to Texas, and especially if you're East Coast or West Coast, you're going to typically think of Texas being this really crazy, backwards, Rick Perry bullshit place.
Yeah, super conservative, whereas Austin is basically the only town or city in Texas that you could have a different opinion. But I feel like a lot of people are going in the direction of either vintage or whatever it is that could connect to a hipster type crowd, whereas it is the cool thing to do to have either vintage or locally produced, which is a great thing in itself.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit overdone in Austin, probably.
It could now. What's more overdone, Portland or Austin?
Well, I've never been to Portland, so I don't.
Portlandia or Ostlandia?
Oh wow.
I mean, you've seen Portlandia?
Yeah.
If Portlandia is an awesome sketch comedy show on
Yeah, it's
IFC,
hilarious.
totally
Love
hilarious. I mean, if you like that show, you kind of can relate.
Yeah,
to...
you can definitely find similarities between Austin and Portland
Yeah.
for sure.
And I was we were talking about this too, that the concept of the trend with hipsters of, for sure. I'm sure some people might look even at. I don't even know what a hipster really means necessarily.
It's always evolving, so
Yeah,
I never know exactly what it's going to be.
And I think the hipster themselves, even if you want to call yourself a hipster, by definition, you have to create a new version of what a hipster is. So,
yeah, it's like to be the coolest hipster ever, you have to be so different from what they were 5 minutes ago.
That's right. So you're not
basically.
doing a podcast, you're not recording like us. What you're actually going to do is we're going to talk, someone's going to take notes.
Yeah.
And then those people are going to write that up in calligraphy with a
They're going to write it by hand, exactly.
And then they're going to
upload it.
They're going to upload to shit because they're going to mail that to everybody they know in the country with stamps. And every hipster in America is pissed off because the post office doesn't deliver on Saturdays anymore.
Oh, no.
And they're like, that's one less day we can send shit out.
I don't know. I love the hipster community to a degree because they are a lot of my business in Austin. I basically love anyone that loves what I love because they are super. Good. I don't know. You have to just love people who are appreciative of what you've put out there. It's a really big deal when you're doing your own thing.
Do you think? Or go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people can be really negative, and you wouldn't necessarily expect it. Going into doing your own thing, you think, oh wow, I love what I do so much that how could anyone be negative about something like this? And it's beautiful. How could anyone not think it isn't beautiful? But there are so many people that have so many negative things to say about what you have to put out there, and it's really sad.
So what's the lesson from that? I mean, how do you react to that?
You have to kind of consider yourself. I mean, I'm not an artist by any means. I don't paint things. I'm not crazy talented to the degree of.
But you really are, because some of the cherry bot. I mean, absolutely 100%. That's an artistic redesign of this old beat up piece.
To a degree, I think you have to consider yourself as an artist because you have to put yourself out there for criticism and just accept it. For me, I have to kind of put things into perspective and say, you know what, if so-and-so doesn't like what I do, that's actually a good thing, because if they all loved it, I wouldn't have inventory that was available to me, because everyone would want it and no one would be willing to get rid of it, basically. So I look at it as a positive as much as I possibly can, but you can't help but take offense to things when, you're set up and you've really gone all out with your booth or whatever it is that you're doing, and someone walks by and is like, "Oh my God, you have a really weird way of thinking." It's you can't help but be offended, but you really have to think about it as like, you know what? That's what makes the world go round. Not everyone is going to think the same way that you do, and there are going to be people that connect with the things that you do, and that's what, is great about what
There's
you
a
do.
lot to be said too about the concept of just taking offense to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I should just get over it.
Yeah, because I strongly hold this position that if you take offense to something someone else says or does to you, that's your problem to deal with. That's no one else's problem to deal with except you, because there's a reason you're being offended, by someone else's action. And so I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with, learning from the offense or thinking more about it, or just even the concept of like someone's treating you shitty or talking shit about your business or what you're trying to do and not appreciating it. Internally thinking of the offense, but I'm speaking towards like putting that out in response to that person. Like, so you get offended, not you, but someone gets offended by something someone does or says.
Yeah.
They want to go get that person in return. They want to like react to them and then give them something worse than the offense they perceive they received. Does that even make sense? And by doing that, the reality is you're just not you, existential you. You're not dealing with the reality of your own ego. And like, why am I offended?
Yeah.
Like, why am I offended? I understand that someone's being shit, which is really interesting that someone would ever downplay or not appreciate you taking this enormous risk, or anyone, and anyone taking the enormous risk to be an entrepreneur, running their own business. Why do you think someone wouldn't be positive about that? That just seems really weird to me.
I don't know if I can really explain it, but you do have to literally just try to not take offense to what every single person says, because if you did, you would literally be crying yourself to sleep every single night. I mean, it's true. It's sad, but it's true. But that's literally what makes you also successful all at the same time. I mean, if you didn't have the people that didn't love you, you wouldn't have the major appreciation from the people that really do. So you have to kind of put things into perspective, and really, it does help you appreciate the people that really do love what you're doing. And I mean, 90% of what I come across is 100% support and at least a little bit of love. If it's not, someone purchasing something from me, it's at least someone saying something kind, which is really big when you're fairly new and starting your own business. You can't help but be a little bit offended when someone says, "You have a really strange way of thinking about things." It's a little bit rude, but if it weren't for those people, I wouldn't have the opportunity that I have. So,
and I guess it's the classic, you don't know love without hate. You don't know joy without sorrow.
Yeah, I mean, style is style. I have kind of a lot of people that are in the same business have kind of considered me a stylist, which is it's kind of cool to be labeled as that, because I never necessarily labeled myself as that, but in a way I am constantly choosing items that are special to me and are of a certain style that are special to me. And a lot of people connect with that it's really cool to witness a lot of people being really passionate and really loving what you yourself have designed and curated all on your own.
So someone's out there and they're kind of listening and they're going, wow, this amazing, she's female entrepreneur, starting her own business. Like, she can do it, I can do it. But what's like a good piece of advice to someone who's thinking, like, they've had this idea, They're sick and tired of their goddamn job. They're not happy. They're not fulfilled. They have no passion, but they've got an idea, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They want to start this business. I mean, what do you tell that person?
I kind of jumped in full force. I really didn't have a lot of money saved up, or I had a plan. I definitely had a plan, but I wouldn't say that I had a really big reserve in my bank account for doing what I was going to do.
So then money shouldn't even be on the table.
I would say if you could save up for something so that you're more prepared, I guess, for what might be the future. You're not going to make a.
But should that be an excuse for not doing it?
No, I don't think so at all. I think in life.
And just to put it on the record, it seems like I've come across this quite frequently where someone, they hear that all these entrepreneurial activities I've done or other people have done, and it's a weird mindset, but it seems relatively common to think that person had the silver spoon.
Yeah.
They have $1 million trust fund kid, they got $1 million in the bank account. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do because they've got all this money. So they're just going to start these businesses. I'm going, when I started my first business, we started it straight out of undergrad.
Yeah.
We graduated. Within 1 week, we had signed a lease on a place for this is a Mexican folk art shop. Within 1 week of graduating, we signed the lease. Got all our credit cards together.
Yeah.
We got in a truck, car, and can't even remember now, and we took off to Mexico.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, that was the plan.
You just I don't know. I mean, there's always a way to do things that is going to be better than the way someone else did them. I definitely didn't have as much money as I might have liked to have had saved up. Maybe it would have been good to work 6 months more at this job to save up whatever amount it was to help me get past this threshold.
But would it really been?
But you know what? No, it wouldn't have been. I did what I did. I'm happy to have done what I did. You're going to have moments of being completely broke so many times. And you know what? That's okay. It's not the end of the world to only have whatever it is that you have in your bank account, whether it be $20 or $200. It's going to all be okay, and the next week everything's going to work itself out, and then you're going to get back to that place in a few more months. You're going to have a lot of struggles, but if the worst thing is being a little bit broke a couple weeks out of every 6 months and having to do your own taxes or keep up with your own expenses, if that's the worst part of your day-to-day for every year for the rest of your life is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty amazing to own your own thing and just be happy in your everyday life and do what you're passionate about. I mean, it's amazing to just, it's been less than 2 years since I actually quit my full-time job and did this, and I don't regret any of it. I'm not making a lot of money yet, although I have every intention.
Which is why everybody needs to go to Salvaged Space on Twitter. In your bio, right, you have a link to the Etsy shop.
Yeah,
Etsy shop.
Basically it's salvagedspace.com. I have I'm basically actually right now I have a 3 week deadline of putting a lookbook and completely overhauling my website for a whole new shopping experience within my own website rather than just having the Etsy shop. And I just acquired a vintage travel trailer, which I plan to make my mobile shop out of.
I'm really excited
which
about
is
that.
So amazing.
What's it called? What kind of trailer?
It's a Shasta.
Shasta, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
Most people know Shasta from the 10 cent Cola cans because their parents were too cheap to buy a real
Yeah,
Coke.
it's it's
That was
not
my parents, at
it's
least.
not an Airstream. It's not a silver bullet
The
by
Airstream's
any
pretty
means.
awesome too, but the Shasta's really legit as
No,
well.
it's amazing. I'm super excited. I'm going to make it 100% salvaged. Every single thing about it,
Nice.
to every degree that I can possibly make it, will be reclaimed material. And I might make myself a little sleeping / staying quarters in the back, but overall the goal is to make it my little shop that I can pop up, especially in San Antonio and Austin and little places here in Texas that are local businesses, and just anywhere that is open to supporting another local business.
Yeah,
That's,
that pop-up shop, pop-up restaurants, pop-up, that seems to be a pretty trendy deal.
it is a trendy deal.
I'm not saying that in a bad way, even
No,
though typically speaking...
it's 100% trendy, and
Yeah.
I acknowledge that, it is 100% trendy, but it's a great idea. People
I
are
agree.
stupid to not jump on that train. It is really done mostly with food trucks and things like that, but I haven't seen it a lot with vintage furniture or vintage shops. But you know what? I need to make more opportunities for myself to sell in more than just a show once every month and a half.
Glengarry Glen Ross, ABC, what's it stand for?
I don't know.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer. ABC. It's the classic letter.
Always be closing, is that what you're saying?
Hallelujah, sister. Of course, that's what it
Always
means.
be closing.
Always be closing those goddamn deals. That is business 101. Make that money,
So
honey.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need to provide more opportunities for myself. That's what I found out through doing shows. Originally I thought, oh, I can have a show once a month and supplement that through Etsy or my website or whatever. But you know what? It's really not doing what I want it to be doing. So I want to work through local shops, local whatever. It might be me parked at a park or something random that is supporting a local business, willing to support a local business, I should say. And just making opportunities that weren't necessarily there to any others before me, and maybe providing a path for new businesses in the future.
For sure. That sounds
to
like a
also
really
follow.
positive, like a positive energy thing to do, approach to it, because you're doing something totally different. Giving new opportunities, working locally, setting up at the park.
I mean,
And it's awesome. I'm saying
just
that's
saying
awesome. Usually it's
I
only
mean,
a snow
we'll
cone
see.
shop or Raspa's down in
We'll
San
see.
Antonio.
I don't know what will happen, but I'm excited to
Yeah.
finish it out and just start parking it in random places and get local businesses to support it. And I've definitely learned a lot in the last just year and, I don't know, 7 months
Yeah.
since I opened. Full time, I guess, started this. I've learned a lot about the holiday season isn't really a season for me to sell a lot of furniture. So my idea is the trailer will become this really amazing craft type place where I can invite children or whatever groups of, whoever it is that finds interest in the kind of things that I find, and create little craft workshops where they're more holiday focused or something, to really focus on more recycled type products that aren't necessarily me selling vintage furniture, but me making an impact on the community, or just kind of promoting what it is that I'm about, where, people can just focus on having a good time and supporting a local business and enjoying it.
We're in the basement right now. These acoustics are pretty good.
Yeah.
They provided. We had Lone Star mimosas last time.
Yes, I know.
And yeah, yeah. Now we've got limoncello and rosé, which is really interesting.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm back because this goddamn
Is it on?
my
Yes,
recorder filled up
Oh my God.
all the way from space and no more space
Okay.
for audio, and we've been drinking way too much, and it's like really
It's
fucking.
2:04.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. That's how we do things down in San Antonio, son. Alamo's open 24 hours a day on the weekend. You don't even know. We rented this place all night. We got
Airbnb.
yeah, the ladies are coming in about another hour. You know how we do it down the river walk. Bring them in after hours. Check that shit out. You know, this is all I'm saying. Look, this. What's going on? We love everybody out there, and let me just tell you that Megan is an amazing friend of mine and an amazing person. And there's nothing but the ultimate in respect going out to her and the entrepreneurial activities she does, but then just who she is as a person. So check her out. It's what on Twitter? What is it?
At Salvaged Space.
Salvaged.
Yes.
Like past tense.
Yes.
Salvaged
Yes.
Space.
Yes.
Salvaged Space. Check that shit out, and you can see in our Twitter bio, you can hit the link, go to our Etsy shop. Look, you may not like vintage shit, you may not like retro shit. I love both of them, but if you don't like it, someone you know might like it.
Suck it.
Or you go suck it, or fuck yourself. Or you can take the real positive energy approach. Just check it out, regardless. And then maybe there's something on there you want to get someone you know who does like that. And that's all we're talking about. We're doing interactions. We're making this happen. We're promoting awesome people. And I couldn't be happier than sit here and to down multiple bottles of rosé and limoncello and ciders with you all night long. And it's been a great time. Appreciate you being here. And hope you come back in the future. Maybe next time we won't be drinking so much. Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's always good to just drink a lot. Why not? I mean, if you got it, you got it. Just drink it, right?
Yeah.
Shout out. What's up, y'all? This is Mind Novelty 3. Straight from the Alamo Basement Studios in San Antonio, Texas. Glad to be here. Peace out. Love all you homies. This
I would have thought you're really fucking
We're
drunk.
gonna talk about everything because this is my novelty podcast. Overtime edition. We getting back at you bitches.
It was set for an hour.
Well, yeah, but now this is called the overtime edition because we're just bringing this back. Hey, it never stops. I told you the Alamo's 24/7.
Now Yesenia's involved, though, right?
But no one knows who she is. Who is that?
She's your wifey.
No, don't say that.
She's your wifey.
Maybe not. Maybe
He's
not.
not really married.
I'm not. Maybe I'm married. Maybe I'm not.
Single.
He's
half
married.
I'm kinda
He's very married.
Kind of sort of living the Diamond David Lee Roth life, you know, just chilling, just hanging out, making some bruschetta burgers.
In his mind, he's living
At your
that
own
life.
home. Whatever.
This is not my home.
Whatever.
I don't believe in possessions. Just like John
Oza
Lennon.
Motley.
Just like John.
Oza
Molly was downtown.
At
I love
Pearl.
Oza
No
Molly.
way!
Last Sunday.
What?
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
didn't you tell me? I paid
Well,
money
I
to go
wasn't
see
there.
Motley. I paid money. I had to drive from
Usually,
Oklahoma
you do
fucking
usually
city.
pay money to see a concert.
Wait,
Most of the
Oklahoma?
time.
No. I've been to a lot of free fucking concerts that have been really good.
True.
And Ozamotley I paid for.
Whoever you
and
are.
I went to
St. Patty's Day, they were there.
Ohio.
How's Oza Molly playing?
I went to Ohio.
Right.
It was packed at Pearl.
Yeah, I'm sure because they're awesome.
Yeah, Oza Molly. Let me give
There's
a little
only
shit.
like 3 other bands in San Antonio that like copy every
sorry.
song they do.
I
and
just-
Except that Oza Molly The old
sorry.
stuff.
Wait, I like the old Does
The
Not Leave,
very
that's
first
true.
album.
I don't know.
Whichever, it's like a green cover album with the big O
Yeah.
and the ZO.
That's
I
my
don't
favorite
know.
album.
And it's
I
got
don't know.
Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5.
I don't know too much. Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That first album may be one
Are
of
we
the...
recording anything?
No, we're not recording
No,
anything.
we're not
Maybe
recording.
we're recording something. I don't know.
But
That first album was goddamn
dude, we
amazing.
lived on Ozomatli. We
Super Bowl Sunday.
every fucking day we
What?
listened to Ozomatli. We went to the concert. We went on a road trip to it. And
St.
then
St.
they
Louis.
came, and
That's
then
Nelly's spot.
I said Ohio.
Hey, watch
Nelly?
this. Watch this.
Yes,
Nelly, Country
We
Grammar.
did not see Nelly.
Country Grammar,
We went
can
to
you
go
hear
to
that?
Nelly's territory. to see
Limoncello,
Ozomatli.
pouring some
And
more.
what
Country
happened-
I can't
Grammar.
believe I just did a freaking podcast.
Well,
It's
you're
okay.
doing the
Why?
overtime podcast right now.
What? You said it wasn't recording.
Nothing's recording.
Look, your stick thing grew this thing.
Oh my
This
god.
stick thing you gave me, look, it grew this thing.
You're really big.
Do you understand how it's like growing
not.
out of its
Yeah.
like, little
Okay.
thing?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Is this the same one?
Yes.
That's pretty cool that you kept.
What
But
is
you know
this
what?
plant?
You know
What
what,
is this
Megan?
plant called? Do you know?
This plant was eaten by the birds, and it was much bigger last year, but it was eaten away by the birds, and now it's grown to this
I can't
size. It's
remember.
really cool. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it either. But that's one from your wedding. That's from the little jar, the little flask.
Mother of
Yeah.
Millions.
Did you see the little one that I had out there that you gave me? It's like this big on the ground. I put it on the ground. It's this
From
big.
the wedding?
No,
No.
from before the wedding.
Oh.
That you gave me when we
Oh,
went to
this
your
was
house.
a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. And it's grown this big, and it's got tons of little babies right now. So if
Really?
you want some, feel
No,
free to take
no,
some
no.
tomorrow.
Take some.
Awesome.
I found
Mother
someone on
Millions.
Etsy. They're just selling the little babies.
Where?
You buy
On
anything on
Etsy.
Etsy.
What?
Anything on
Yes.
Etsy.
They sell that, and they sell
Freaking
their
Etsy.
agaves that I
Anything.
have, and I was like, well, maybe I should just put them on there.
Oh
I
my
was gonna put them
God.
on eBay. They're selling like 4 of them for like I don't know how many bucks, but
$5.
yeah, but you know, people
Man,
are
I
all
should
into like
sell that
terrariums right
shit.
now,
Hell
and it's
yeah,
like
you sell that
build
shit.
your terrarium, get your
Fuck
succulents.
y'all.
Guess who's selling succulents right now on the internet?
Who?
Like catalog.
Who?
West Elm. West Elm
Who?
is said it's selling succulents.
Who?
So you buy.
What's
It's like they're a garden store now, you know. Like you can just buy succulents.
West Elm?
Like I'm like,
Oh
West
my
Elm?
god, I need
It's
a
a
redo.
fucking furniture store.
I need a podcast redo.
What? I'm just saying that it's true. Like they're selling.
No, I know.
Now you don't just buy the little, glass thing to put the terrarium in, but you can also buy the plants.
What's a terrarium?
Screw them.
It's 70s
Fuck
and it's
them.
basically something small
Fuck
that
terrariums?
No,
plants
fuck
in.
West Elm.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
you put. Yeah. You know West Elm
Fuck
and San
everybody.
Antonio. That's why that's why West Elm and San Antonio closed down. I mean, they couldn't handle it. San Antonio's just too real for
Too real.
West Elm. But it's still doing great in Austin, I hear. I mean, not only that, but Jonathan Adler just
Yeah.
recently opened a shop
haven't
in
been to
Austin,
Whoever
which
the
I have
fuck
not been
that
to.
is.
I love Jonathan
He's
Adler.
cool. Shut
I love
up.
Jonathan Adler. Okay,
No, who
he's
knows
like
who he
he's
is?
He
What is he?
makes his own goddamn pottery.
He's
That's
so
fucking cool.
Okay, not only does he look like an elf, and he admits to it, and he's like, yes, this is awesome, but he also makes pottery.
cool.
And what's cooler than an elf lookalike that makes pottery? I mean, not only that, but he likes color.
An elf?
And colors make
okay,
you happy.
This is
He's
what.
got
Okay,
literature on it.
I've got
He's
an
published
answer.
books.
I have an
What?
answer to your question.
Tell us what.
What's greater than an elf who makes pottery? Is an elf who makes pottery and grows mushrooms and eats the mushrooms while
okay,
making
so
pottery.
I'm positively
Where?
sure he likes
Donde?
mushrooms.
Every elf eats mushrooms. Everybody knows that.
What elf?
Wait,
Everyone at Santa's elf trimming balls 24/7.
so
this
you
is
have a
a
name?
bird elf home here.
Look at this.
That I have that
Look at this.
is like a
This
resemblance
is
to
a mushroom home
This is
that
not
elves
out
live
of
in.
ceramic.
That is
I want it to be
an
in
elf.
a fucking
That's a
throne
mushroom.
On a fucking
It's a mushroom
ceramic
house.
wheel. No.
Don't you know?
No.
Let me ask you. What do you hang in front of a fireplace at Christmas time?
Stocking.
I don't.
Stocking? I mean,
No.
what color is that stocking typically?
It doesn't fucking matter.
What color is that stocking typically?
Blue and yellow.
Shut the fuck up! What color is it? It's red and white like the.
Purple.
Like,
Anything Christmas is fucking red and white. Okay.
because
It
it's
doesn't
because
matter
of
if
the
it's
mushrooms.
A stocking, a Christmas tree, a cake.
No.
It's because of the Animata muscaria mushrooms. Alice in Wonderland used to.
Where is this from?
It's
World
from
Market.
the North Pole.
Costco fucking plus. The plus is the added plus to it.
No, really, Marissa.
The North Pole, goddammit, that's the elves are from!
My stomach hurts.
You go fuck yourself then. You don't believe
Oh my
it.
god, we need to make the bread pudding.
Oh shit!
Throw that shit in the oven!
It is on and it's ready.
It's been on for like 3 hours.
Okay, this is how we do this. This is the overtime edition. We're putting some bread pudding in the oven. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Way too much to drink, but you know, you got a little glimpse of what life is really like down here in the basement. Peace
I
out.
told Joel I texted.
We love you. Overtime edition, Mind Novelty podcast number 3. We're cutting this shit out. Peace. The part 2 overtime Mind Novelty podcast. Alamo police have been called. We gotta shut this shit down.
2 o'clock in the
Morning.
Actually,
Peace.
it's 2:30.
2:30. It's not late.
How about
It's
that?
not late. It's like early somewhere in the world.
It's early. This is as early as it's gonna
It's
get.
like prime.
It
work
never
time.
gets earlier than this.
Yeah. We're baking
like that.
bread pudding right now.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna. Alright.
It's like hours before we go to bed.
Hours.
Hours.
5 in the
We don't go
Hours.
to bed.
Hours.
We don't go to
We
bed.
never
Why would you go to
sleep.
bed?
Bed, go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Or you can fuck yourself on the bed.
Or you can get fucked on the bed.
Or you can get fucked.
Yeah,
Well, lots
that
of
could
people.
happen.
Most people get
That's
fucked.
potential. I mean, that could happen.
Oh my.
Most people get fucked, but do they fuck on the bed?
I don't know. They could fuck on the floor. I don't know.
That wouldn't really work.
Don't know.
It doesn't work.
What doesn't work?
I'll tell you what doesn't work. Shower fucking. That does not
Yeah.
work. Who the fuck is fucking in the shower? Who does that shit? How much lubrication are they using? Lubrication is
Where does it come from?
Yesenia is being crazy honest.
Who?
What?
Why would you do that shit?
It's hard, especially if you got hard water.
Hey, what?
You don't have that softener in your garage and make that shit nice and silky. You need that water silky, son.
There is no harder water than the water in San Antonio. It is just so fucking hard.
Really? No.
San Antonio's
Yes,
a hard
well,
water.
I don't know. Cuero is in the
Cuero.
middle of nowhere. But here, I mean, there's so much shit in the water. Like
No, we have well water.
that's pretty hard water, isn't it?
It's hard.
That means everything gets ruined. I understand. Fixtures. I mean, I have to wipe my stainless steel
Wipe
shit.
it down like a gangster.
Like a gangster.
Like a soldier.
Like it's my weapon. Like
Like
I
a
have
soldier.
to wipe down the handles in the shower after I finish showering and like wipe down every little single spot because I don't want to spend 3 hours cleaning it. You know, once.
Keep that shit
no.
clean.
It's so hard. Hard
Do
water
it.
is so fucking hard.
Yeah. There's lots of.
Hard on everyone
Everything.
and everything you
Everything.
own.
It gets-
Don't ever think about putting that shit in a steam mop.
No.
Don't
ever. You
fucking
break
do
that
it.
shit so
You will
fast.
do that for a month, and that steam mop will not work. It will
Not
be
work
dead.
anymore.
Yeah, try some vinegar.
Just try that
half
shit.
vinegar, half
Soak
water.
it in vinegar.
Half water, half vinegar, and that will keep it alive.
It cleans everything.
Otherwise, your steam mop will.
I
stop
heart
steaming.
vinegar.
Yeah. That's
And
a real
I do
hipster
not heart.
approach to
No,
cleaning.
it's
Wait,
not.
Yeah, it is. Hipsters
No.
only use vinegar.
Hipsters.
Hipsters only use vinegar because it doesn't have
I unheart
and
hard water.
You know,
okay?
like no chemicals.
Me too.
It's just I love
It's a
vinegar.
heart with a cross
Vinegar
over it.
equals heart, but not for hipsters.
That's right.
Hipsters are too cool for vinegar.
What then? What does a hipster clean?
I don't know. It's up to them.
Or they don't clean?
I
because
don't think they
it's
clean.
not cool to clean.
I don't think they
They're
live
too
in a certain
cool
place for too
for
long.
cleaning.
Yeah.
No, they don't use
Whenever it
vinegar.
gets too dirty, they just move on to the next place.
To the next clean,
They
the
just
next most
leave.
clean place.
They just leave these like dirty habitats.
So it's not like a
behind.
hippie who will just stick around in that same place
No,
forever.
hipsters do not do that. No,
No.
They will
No.
not clean it themselves,
way.
but they will move on.
Yeah,
Find a new place.
probably.
Use it up. Make it dirty.
Yeah, because Brooklyn was pretty shit. they're there now, and it's not so shit anymore, which means they've got to find a new place. Wait, that means they're moving
You better
to
be
shit.
careful. They might move here.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
San Antonio.
Keep
The
it
Alamo.
on
They're
down
gonna
low.
turn. They're gonna. Yeah.
Keep that shit on the down low.
Tell me, buddy.
On the
God
low
damn it.
down.
Okay, well, don't write any letters. The hipsters will find out.
I can't believe they're really.
Yeah, they're only writing letters. They don't use cell phones anymore.
Really? That is fucking.
If you're a true hipster.
Right.
You're too. Look, first of all, if you use a cell phone, go
I'm
fuck
not a
yourself
hipster.
because you're too awesome for me.
Well, I don't want to.
Because I want to write letters, and if
Oh,
you don't,
really?
and
Oh,
if
so
you don't,
you're a hipster?
no, but I want to write letters, so maybe I am a hipster.
No, you're not.
But I'm not. But what if I want to write letters, and I might become one?
Who
Well,
wants to
you
write
know
letters?
what?
You write letters on email. Email
Hand
that letter.
write that shit.
With
No
the
one's-
stamp.
What? Cursive?
USPS.
You using
Yeah.
cursive?
Yeah.
Are you
Cursive.
printing?
I'm
Are
gonna
you
use
using
cursive.
print or
Are you-
Use cursive, and I just.
Guess what?
Yeah. I take
Guess
a slingshot
what?
out
Guess
to.
what?
I take a
Guess
sing.
what?
No, I
Guess
take
what?
it.
Guess
No,
what?
I'm gonna
Guess
tell you.
what?
I'm gonna
Guess
guess it.
what?
I'm guessing.
They're not
I'm
teaching
guessing.
cursive anymore.
Well,
in
that's why
schools.
we're
I
bringing
know
this
it.
shit
It's
back.
not-
I wrote your card basically in
Yeah,
cursive.
it's just pretty awesome because it's hand.
I didn't really mean
Let me
to.
see
hand
that shit.
cursive.
It's
Let me see that
My
shit.
cursive
Let me
is
see
like
I can't read
cursive.
cursive.
At your face.
It's
It's
another
like
language.
half cursive, half not.
Ha-
You know that they're not
I
teaching
can't
cursive
read
in
this.
schools
What?
anymore.
Yes, you can.
cursive go fuck itself.
Why?
Unless
Yes,
Unless
you can read that.
You can read that.
you can read
up.
anything
I read all
you
that.
wrote.
What?
I don't even know what it says.
Happiest
read it.
of birthdays
Stop
to
making
you.
shit up. Nobody's birthday.
I don't want to read it because it's embarrassing.
It's nobody's
I
birthday.
don't want to. I don't want to read
This
it.
is an awesome card, though.
Right?
Yeah, it looks like a Frida. Frida
you make it?
skirt.
No. You can't read it. Don't even try.
Let's try.
We can read that. I can't read my fucking doctor's note though.
Happy.
Not even
Yeah.
close. Not even close to guessing.
No,
What
I
are
know.
they thinking? They can
No.
just scribble whatever they want.
I know.
I have to take this shit to the freaking pharmacist, and like,
They
how is he
know.
supposed to read it?
They know.
He's like, yeah, that kind of looks like that. Okay, we got it.
So why can't the doctor just text the pharmacist?
I don't know.
Like, yo, check this shit
Why
out.
are they still writing prescriptions?
Yo,
to
my
begin
patient's coming by in about 30,
Email.
45 minutes. Get that shit together. Here it is.
Because
And you
it's up
text
to
it.
the patient where they want to put it.
I know, but
with?
they say where to
but
put
they
it.
ask you before
And they just
you
text
do
that
it.
shit.
Don't
They
they?
do.
Yeah.
They
They just
do.
text that shit.
And they say, hey, where are you going to go get your meds and stuff?
Why the fuck are you
Oh, I'm
handwriting
gonna Central
anything?
Market.
Unless
Fuck
unless
you.
you're like me and you're a hipster and you want to just
Yeah,
write
right.
everything.
Yeah.
Is
with a
typing-
stamp.
Look, I think typing's taken a lot away from real communication.
Typing.
And real communication is
Are you sure
handwriting.
it's typing?
Yeah.
It's not. The
Your
computer
typing's
itself.
not cool because people can do it a lot.
People
What do
can
people
write a
not
lot.
do? No, I'm carving in stone. That's
People
what I've
can
been doing.
carve in stone a lot.
No, I've been like writing letters in stones.
People can write letter in stones. I mean, what?
They can, but they don't, and that's why
Who
I'm
cares?
doing it.
That's
It's
why they
awesome.
don't, because it's stupid. So it takes too long. It's
Well, because
inefficient.
it's stupid, it's now become
Do it.
awesome.
You know what inefficiency is?
On my birthday.
I'm sending
Andrew,
boulders
you
to
better
people.
write me a fucking boulder.
I've got to send 1,000-pound boulders to everybody.
Unless you're sending me like,
Happy fucking birthday.
That's all I can write because it took 10 goddamn weeks to carve.
it's art!
Please do it.
This
please.
is my art!
Oh my god. Please. Please do it.
This is my artwork.
Oh my god.
If it's not Stonehenge, I don't want to fucking see it.
It better... Yeah, but it needs to be at least a miniature version. If I'm gonna...
I
No,
don't want
the
the
real
I
version.
If
don't
I
want
show up to the
miniature
real
version.
Stonehenge and it's bigger than 3 feet tall,
Do
I'm
not
gonna,
give me that Spinal Tap shit.
I'm gonna be so
I want
goddamn
real,
pissed.
Real version.
I'm so
Stonehenge for
pissed.
my birthday.
No,
If
there's
you're
no
gonna
real
give me a
version.
stone.
Yes, there is.
The only version that's real is the version that little tiny elves dance around.
Yes,
A
Stonehenge.
little tiny elf can't dance around a giant monument. That's not
Yeah,
real.
so
Why
they
not?
can.
It's not real. That's
But why
fake.
can't they dance?
Why
The
not?
real Stonehenge is like 2-3 feet tall.
No, why can't elves dance around the big ass ones?
The big ass one's fake. That's a tourist attraction.
So why
What?
can't they dance on
It's not
it?
even real.
Really?
Who cares? Why can't they dance on
The
it?
British government created that
Oh my
like
God.
20 years ago.
The British
What?
government.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
What?
No.
Yeah, okay, so
Prove it.
basically,
Prove it.
I'm proving it right now. So basically, there was
Well,
this
did you
ancient
know there were
structure.
bodies underneath them?
Little people ran the show back in the day, and then people got taller, and they didn't like it.
Let's talk about Easter Island.
No
Yeah, let's
little
talk.
people. No little people.
That's not real either.
What?
It's made up.
What?
British government made that shit up like in 1995 or something.
Made what up?
1995.
No, how is it made
It's not even a
up?
real
He's
island.
Why do
lying.
you say that?
He's
They took a
lying.
bunch of sand
How is that
from
possible?
from
He's
Cancun,
lying.
Mexico,
He's lying.
No,
and they built an island.
they didn't put it there.
Yeah, they did.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Why
The
did you say
Bilderbergs
so?
and the Rockefellers did it.
Who said so?
Rockefellers.
Yeah, the Rockefellers, super
Where
rich.
does it say?
They thought that the UFOs were gonna meet them.
I'm gonna guess no.
That they built a landing pad for the UFOs.
I'm gonna say no.
And they needed the Easter Island headstones are actually it's like it's a
I know where
landing
they were gonna
strip.
build it. Yeah, on your ass.
Yeah, in my ass. It's a great.
Well, this is coming from